I'm bored. I want to take a break from studying. This is the progress I've made on my cheat sheet. It's horrible. Let's talk about reproducibility. So, reproducibility in scientific studies and experiments is when researchers, other than whoever published the study, are able to recreate exactly the experiment that happened in the original study. So, reproducibility is actually not that common in scientific studies for some reason. And some reasons for that is data unavailability, so there's no access to all of the original completely raw data, just the after it's been analyzed stuff, as well as not the exact step-for-step methods and procedures being published in the paper or available for other researchers to have access to. So the problem with not having reproducible research is that if you publish, for example, a medical study saying, hey, this drug cures cancer, but you don't provide ways for it to be replicated, then it's basically useless. So as reproducibility in recent times have been becoming more common, lots of people are going back and looking at previous done studies, like psychology experiments and pharmaceutical experiments and other medical things, and going back and trying to redo the studies and being like, hey, this is kind of bullshit, we can't do this, we run this trial 12 times and we can't get the same results. The results of this study don't work. One example of this that my biostats professor brought up repeatedly in class is some recent Alzheimer's research. It was published and said like, hey, this drug has an effect on Alzheimer's, this is great. But when people tried to reproduce it, they haven't got the same effect. So that's not good for Alzheimer's research because you're saying false claims basically. So when unreproducible research is published, then that leads to false discoveries, where, like, yeah, you may have got this once, but that could have been a fluke, and so if people can't redo your experiment and get the same results, then that whole experiment was kind of useless. So yeah, that's another problem in scientific communities that is being addressed, but you still need to be aware of, especially when reading academic literature.